Hey BookTube, it's Peg. I am back at the History Shelf. It's been an eventful week, an eventful weekend, last weekend. I apologize for my peaked complexion. I am recovering from a root canal, an old root canal that became infected somehow, and I was in excruciating pain last weekend, which was not good. Had swelling, massive swelling on my jawline and into my throat, which could have been life-threatening, the endodontist told me. So I had that taken care of, retreated on Monday, and in the process my crown was an old crown. It popped off, so I've got a big hole in my mouth, but the infection's gone, or it's being treated, and I'll go back in 3 weeks to get my crown. Yay! But anyway, I posted in YouTube the community chats that I would be out of commission for a few days, and indeed, I've been out for over a week. You know, I had all these good intentions of posting 2 to 3 videos a week, and then this happened, and I'm still not 100%. I am on very strong antibiotics for the infection, so it's making me feel all different types of crappy, stomach-wise, and just feeling very fatigued today. But anyway, happy Friday before a long Labor Day weekend, you guys. I really felt the need to make a video because why? Because these books are piling up over here. They keep coming in the mail, and I just know how many videos I still need to get cracking on so I can actually get these books shelved, you know. So today is a new books in the mail video that have come in, either books I've ordered or review books, and there's a lot going on, and I'm just bummed that I've lost a lot of reading time. I didn't read last weekend and I was in so much pain. And I'm reading right now a couple of things that are due September 15th, so I feel like once I meet my deadline for a couple of book reviews on the 15th, I can really make some headway on a lot of these new books that are coming in. But without further ado, because I know you guys have been missing the book hauls and new books in the mail, let me just start with the one book that did come in that I had mentioned from my last video, which was the bargain book haul, the HamiltonBook.com, and they had not sent me the one book I was really excited to show you guys, and instead I got the handwriting analysis book. Well, it finally came in, and I know that Andrew B. had mentioned in comments that this book was on his TBR. So Andrew, I got it, and it's not. For some reason I thought it was a huge tome, but it's actually like a 250-page book. But this is beautiful. It's from Johns Hopkins Press, and this is the Tocqueville book I told you about, Writings on Empire and Slavery, edited and translated by Jennifer Pitts. So as you can see, slim little volume, but I'm excited to add it to my library of Tocqueville books. And I'm just wondering when I should read this in relation to his other works. Let me just give you a synopsis here. After completing his research for democracy in America, Alexis de Tocqueville turned to the French consolidation of its empire in North Africa, which he believed deserving of similar attention. Tocqueville began studying Algerian history and culture, making 2 trips to Algeria in 1841 and 1847. He quickly became one of France's foremost experts on the country and wrote dozens of essays, articles, official letters, and parliamentary reports on such diverse topics as France's military and administrative policies in North Africa, the people of the Maghreb, his own travels in Algeria, and the practice of Islam. Throughout, Tocqueville consistently defended the French imperial project, a position that stands in tension with his admiration for the benefits of democracy he witnessed in America. Although Tocqueville never published a book-length study of French North Africa, his various writings on the subject provide as invaluable a portrait of French imperialism as Democracy in America does of the early Republic period of American history. So yeah, that looks pretty interesting, doesn't it? Sorry. I am a little bit off my game just because of all the antibiotics. I'm taking about 9 to 10 pills a day. It's insane. Um, but I guess these things are very serious, these infections. Yeah, you guys are probably laughing at me like, look at Peg all drugged up, you know. I'm not really drugged up, but just... Anyway, I thought this would be interesting to read some of his writings on this. So that came in, and I'm very happy to have it. Thank you, Hamilton Book. Great customer service. I know they made a mistake. They rectified it. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes. Wow, excuse me. Got a couple of paperbacks here. I heard about this book from Instagram. Richard Farley, he had started his booktube channel, and I think I haven't seen any more videos from you, Richard. But you're active on Instagram, so you know I follow you, and you had posted this book, but with a different cover, probably the UK cover. But it sounded really good, like historical fiction, and sounded very, very relevant to today. This is The Warlow Experiment by Alex Nathan. This is put out by Anchor Books. Let me give you this. This sounds really interesting. Listen to this. Herbert Powys lives in an estate in the Welsh Marches with enough time and income to attempt to make his mark in the field of science, something consequential enough to present to the Royal Society in London. He hits on a radical experiment in isolation. For 7 years, a subject will inhabit 3 rooms in the basement of the manor house, fitted out with rugs, books, paintings, and even a chamber organ. Meals will arrive thrice daily via a dumbwaiter. The solitude will be totally unrelieved by any social contact whatsoever. The subject will keep a diary of his daily thoughts and actions. The pay, £50 per annum for life. Only one man is desperate enough to apply for the job, John Warlow, a semi-literate laborer with a wife and 6 children to provide for. The experiment, a classic Enlightenment exercise gone more than a little mad, will have unforeseen consequences for all included. The Warlow Experiment is an utterly transporting and original historical novel that yields unexpected and deeply, shatteringly human revelations. So, obviously, you can see some of the issues with this, you know, being in isolation. At least with COVID, we're not at that point where we're all just having to be completely alone. But I don't know. I thought it just sounded really kind of cool, and I'd love to see how his diary progresses. I'm sure at some point you lose your mind because, you know, human beings are social creatures. So, yeah, fascinating. This book, too, I requested because, you know, I have been really intrigued lately with anthropology, indigenous, uncontacted tribes, and I'm just that whole area, that whole genre of writing. And this was a recent book. It came out a couple years ago, I think. No, last year, 2019. Let's see. This is by Charles King, and I think I had seen this on a couple of other channels. Probably, yeah, I know I have. Gods of the Upper Air by Charles King. This is the paperback version now. It's in paperback. So I saw it when it came out in hardcover. How a circle of renegade anthropologists reinvented race, sex, and gender in the 20th century. Also by Anchor Books. Let's see here. A century ago, everyone knew that people were fated by their race, sex, and nationality to be more or less intelligent, nurturing, or warlike. But Columbia University professor Franz Boas looked at the data and decided everyone was wrong. Racial categories, he insisted, were biological fictions. Boas's students were some of the century's most colorful figures and unsung visionaries. Margaret Mead, obviously the coming of age in Samoa. Ruth Benedict. Just discovered something. Let me go back. Margaret Mead, the outspoken field researcher whose coming of age in Samoa is among the most widely read works of social science of all time. Ruth Benedict, the great love of Mead's life. I didn't know whose research shaped post-World War II Japan, Ella Deloria, the Dakota Sioux activist who preserved the traditions of Native Americans on the Great Plains, and Zora Neale Hurston, whose studies under Boas fed directly into her classic novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God. Their revolutionary findings would go on to inspire the fluid conceptions of identity we know today. So in this book, it's a masterful narrative of history of radical ideas and passionate lives. And Charles King shows how these institutions led to a fundamental reimagining of human diversity. So that's intriguing. That looks really good. We've got some pictures and stuff in here, you guys. Didn't know that about Margaret Mead. Who am I to judge? I'm not. I'm just. You guys, I'm so sorry. I just need to get a video up. I need to show you guys these books. They're piling up. All right. I should just stop trying to make commentary. Let me grab a sip of water. But I have missed you guys. I've been watching BookTube as I've been convalescing. There's been some really great stuff out there. Andrew B's series on the working conditions of the English people is a fantastic series. I highly recommend you check out Andrew B's series. I really enjoyed it. Okay, moving on. I know this is a disjointed video. We're just gonna keep moving along, and let's see. This one, oh, who did this book? Cornell. This is from Cornell University Press. I have a fascination with all things French Revolution and trying to understand it and its impacts down to today, as it relates to concepts of, liberty, democracy, and whether, I've always found it interesting that egalite, fraternite, liberté, and then our credo, they're almost alike except for the equalite part. And there's a reason for that. Anyway, this book is fascinating because I want to know how people, I never understood why Jefferson defended the French Revolution so much, especially when it just descended into madness, which it did. And this is called The Afterlives of Terror. Facing the legacies of mass violence in post-revolutionary France by Ronan Steinberg. Look at that cover right there. See? Standing on the bodies. Drinking from a poisoned chalice or something. I mean, it's, says it all. The Afterlives of Terror explores how those who experienced the mass violence of the French Revolution struggle to come to terms with it. Focusing on the Reign of Terror, Ronan Steinberg challenges the presumption that its aftermath was characterized by silence and enforced collective amnesia. Instead, he shows that there were painful, complex, and sometimes surprisingly honest debates about how to deal with its legacies. As the book shows, revolutionary leaders, victims' families, and ordinary citizens argued about accountability, retribution, redress, and commemoration. Drawing on the concept of transitional justice and available scholarship on the major traumas of the 20th century, Steinberg explores how the French tried, but ultimately failed, to leave this difficult past behind. He argues that it was the same democratizing, radicalizing dynamic that led to the violence of the terror that also gave rise to an unprecedented interrogation of how society is affected by events of enormous brutality. In this sense, the modern question of what to do with difficult pasts is one of the unanticipated consequences of the 18th century's age of democratic revolutions. All right, I'm down with that. Little slim volume, I'd say. It's got a nice, lots of notes. For more ideas, for more reading. I just can keep going and going. I'm reading a book right now on Sophia, the mother of King George I, the Electress of Hanover. Loving it. It is just such a fun and it's a lively, fun read. And the notes in the back are just hilarious, but also just are leading me down into a rabbit hole of her sources, and I just love it. Anyway, this one's got it too. This is 150 pages. Cornell University Press. So I'm very excited for that. In this book, I think is answering, I think in one of my tags I did on the History Reading Challenge tag, I think, you know, what areas would you like to find more books on, or do you wish more books were written about? And I had mentioned the, what I think is like a dearth of, and they're probably, and that it could be my own ignorance. Maybe I'm not aware of how many books have already been written, but I haven't seen too many about like women warriors in ancient society. You know, I've seen some, you know, the standard Amazon books and stuff, but so the good folks at Pen and Sword over at Casemate Publishing Group, I've requested to take a look at this because this is a brand new release, and it covers just what I was, you know, complaining that there wasn't enough about. And this is Women at War in the Classical World by Paul Crystal. Look at that cover. I just love that cover. The colors and two female warriors going at it there. It's by Pen and Sword Military imprint. Let me just give you a quick rundown here. Paul Crystal has written the first full-length study of women in warfare in the Greco-Roman world. Although the conduct of war was generally monopolized by men, there were plenty of exceptions, with women directly involved in strategy and tactics, and even participating as commanders and combatants. Of course, like Artemisia, Olympias, Fulvia, and Agrippina the Elder being famous examples. Both Greeks and Romans encountered redoubtable women among their barbarian enemies, such as Tamiris, Cleopatra, Boudica, and Zenobia. More commonly, though, women were directly involved in and affected by war as non-combatant victims. They were victims of rape, displacement, and enslavement as spoils of war. This makes up an important strand of the author's discussion. The portrayal of female warriors and goddesses in classical mythology and literature, and the use of female belligerents to justify gender roles and hierarchies are also considered. Overall, it is a landmark survey of how war in the classical world affected and was affected by women. Fabulous. Yeah, this guy, I've seen his stuff before. He has, yeah, he's a contributor to Minerva magazine, which I now have a subscription for. BBC History magazine, which I also have one. Ancient History magazine, I also have that. Yeah, I have seen his work. And he's got classics degrees up the you know what. So anyway, I'm really excited to dig into this. Insert some good pictures here of the stonework, sculptures, friezes, artwork, Rape of the Sabine Women. All right, so very excited for that new release. And then, oh, this is a little different kind of a book here, but what a beautiful volume. In my History Vault video, where I was showing you some of the books that I had rediscovered that were in storage, one of them was a slim volume on, I think we'll probably call it theology, by J. Gresham Macon, or Macon, and called Liberalism and Christianity. And I didn't realize, but there was a full-fledged biography out there on J. Gresham Macon, and it's put out by Banner of Truth, which is a small religious, I guess, you know, publisher, but mostly, you know, they put together like a quarterly newsletter and do a lot of, you know, advocacy for just, you know, Christian things, and there I go again. Woo! But I wanted to check this biography out of him. This is J. Gresham Macon, a biographical memoir by Ned B. Stonehouse. Now look at this cover. There's the gentleman, and it kind of goes around to the side. And there's the Banner of Truth. I'm betting that Johnny Keene probably has heard of Banner of Truth. Yeah, it was Calvinist. I think this was a Calvinist. It's a Calvinist organization. Oh, and there's a really cool insert here. But you know, I read, as you know, I read a lot of theology, Christian historiography, in addition to just, you know, the Bible and commentaries. But I like reading about the religious, you know, he's not really a religious figure, but he was a thinker. He's a Christian thinker, so I enjoy reading about people like that. So let me, and you probably guys have never heard of him, so let me just read you here. John Gresham Macon, he was born 1881 and died in 1937, was one of the most significant figures in the evangelical church throughout the 20th century. He is best known through his vision for a truly evangelical Presbyterian church in the USA, and is the founder of Westminster Theological Seminary, Pennsylvania. Gifted with an incisive mind, which was finely tuned to the highest level of scholarship, he placed above all else his concern for Christ's gospel and the reliability of the scriptures. For these, he was prepared to suffer opposition, abuse, and even rejection. So he talks about, in the Philadelphia seminary, Macon gathered around him a team of men, including Cornelius Van Til, Paul Woolley, John Murray, and Ned Stonehouse, the guy who wrote the book, whose work took on an international significance and brought guidance to Christian scholarship and wisdom to the entire Christian church. So I'm guessing this won't be fully objective, but that's okay. I mean, this is written by, obviously, a former colleague and friend. So, are we still recording? Okay, thought I saw a glitch. Yeah, Macon let everything he possessed in tribute at the feet of Christ. He was, so to speak, a rich young ruler in the Church of God who sold all to follow his master. He was deeply concerned to bring his warm-hearted and accurate exposition of the gospel to the entire church. Such works of his as God Transcendent, A Christian View of Man, and An Introduction to the New Testament have put many readers in his debt. So, yeah. This is going to be great. I'll probably put this book right next to my biography on John Stott. Okay, sorry about that. I'm being voxed. Mute that. Anyway, guys, so that's a nice big, weighty, kind of like, you know, Christian biography. All right, so we're moving on now. I'm hoping tomorrow, because I need to make more videos this weekend, you guys, that I'll be a little more coherent. But I'm really not going to be off these antibiotics until I think Sunday or Monday. They're starting to get sore again, so I might have to wind this up. I've got 2 more books anyway. I'm going to save that for last. So I subscribe to the Independent Review, which is a journal, a quarterly journal, economics, politics, philosophy, culture, but mostly heavy on like the political economic side. And it was time for me to renew. And so I had seen that David Murphy had done this, where he had I had introduced him to the journal, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I think he signed up for a longer term subscription and he got a free book. So this time around, instead of just deciding to do one year to 1 year, I said, well, let me just go ahead and do a 2-year. Well, it turns out I could get a free book with just a 2-year. Can you believe that, David? And I think I got the same book you did. I don't know. Well, either way, this book was on my list. I was going to get it anyway because I really wanted it. So this is by Robert Higgs, and I got Crisis and Leviathan, Critical Episodes in the Growth of American Government. And this is the 25th anniversary edition. It's printed by the Independent Institute. So this was free with my subscription renewal, and I thought it might be helpful, especially, you know, trying to understand just the economics of crisis and how in times of crisis, his argument is basically that government grows. And when the crisis is over, the government doesn't shrink again back to the previous position. It stays that size. And it uses another crisis and it grows even further. So, which is something I've always believed to be true. Let me just read the back of this real quick. Everyone knows that the U.S. government has grown in size, scope, and power during the past century. But how did this breathtaking transformation come about? Crisis in Leviathan offers a coherent, multi-causal explanation guided by a novel analytical framework firmly grounded in historical evidence. Integrating the contributions of scholars in diverse disciplines, including history, law, political, philosophy, and the social sciences, this book makes compelling reading for all those who seek to understand the transformation of America's political economy over the past century. One of the most important books ever written on the nature of government power, this is a powerful work of first-rate scholarship whose message becomes more important with each passing day. So this was a freebie. Well, not really. I mean, I paid for my subscription, but it's just blurbed all over the place from Harper's Magazine, Reviews in American History, Fortune, Political Science Quarterly. So I got that copy for my library. And then this is from West Home Publishers. It's a little publishing house that does a lot of different history and nonfiction and other stuff like that. Each year, well, they put out a digital newsletter, and I think it's like bi-weekly. And I know that Bill Rutenberg, he subscribes to it. And so I was like, you know, let me check this out. So I did. I subscribed to it. And there's some really great articles in there, mostly on American Revolution. Obviously, I'm not making any sense. Why? Because it's called the Journal of the American Revolution. But this is a compilation, like, of their best articles from the year. And this is annual volume 2020. And it's, you know, JAR, Journal of the American Revolution. And they do make a printed, if you wanted to have a printed collection of those. But it's free to subscribe to, and I'll link below, I'll link to the Journal of the American Revolution if you want to have a, you know, just an electronic, you know, version emailed to you every couple weeks. You could print up you could print up the articles if you don't prefer to read on your handheld or computer or whatever. But I wanted to see what they had put together as their best of the best for the past year. So I was able to get that. Thank you, West Home Publishing. This is beautiful. 2020. Let's see, like some of the articles we have here. Oh, this looks good. The East India Company and Parliament's fateful decision of 1767. How the Magna Carta influenced the American Revolution. Thomas Paine Goes to Sea, a pre-revolutionary tale. Let's see. The Declaration of Independence. Did John Hancock really say that about his signature? And other signing stories. Excuse me. A chink in Britain's armor. John Paul Jones's 1778 raid on Whitehaven. So it's just a ton of a variety of different articles by different historians and writers. So this is gonna be fun to peruse, and I mean that in the actual definition of the word. I'm not gonna glance at it. I am gonna really go down and read all of that. You know, get in there, as it were. Okay. Ooh. Hey guys, really appreciate you sticking with me on a foggy Friday afternoon. I hoping most of you are off now. It's people tend to kick off a little early on Friday, and so after that happened where I work, I thought I'd make a quick video, quick-ish. It seems like I can't, with the amount of books I get, I just can't even get past 30 minutes. Now, please know, I have another stack of new arrivals, but I'm breaking this video, I'm making another video. I don't want to have an hour video, a book haul. But I did want to show you what else came in the mail. because I got to do some magazine love. Get my mailing address. I got a new the latest issue of Naval History. The greatest naval war ever fought. I am really working hard for you guys. I want you to know. I am really toughing it out here. It's because I miss you guys, and I know that you like this stuff, so I'm here. It'll get better. I have my latest issue of Military History Magazine, The Battle of Britain. Yeah, I've got a lot of military history magazines. Can you tell? Here comes another one. This is the World War II History Magazine. I think when I finish up this video, I'm going to recuse myself to the bedroom and take some of these magazines and some of the books that I need to crank on and doze and read and doze and read. Doesn't that sound great? And then, of course, BBC History. So yeah, I hope I think some of you have subscribed to a couple of these magazines since I've shown them. Let me know if you're still enjoying the magazines that you decided to give it a try or give a shot for, and then, oh yeah, nice. This is the nice big layout. This one comes from overseas. This one is, this is not published in America. This is Military History Matters. Look at that one, nice big. I think Mark Richardson would appreciate that. And Mark Richardson, you have a beautiful new farmhouse, from what I can tell from your photos on Instagram, and your bookcases look amazing. And a girl can dream. Maybe someday I can get a house like that up in the mountains here in Colorado. With its unpredictable weather, we're supposed to have record-setting heat this weekend. 97 tomorrow, 97 Sunday. And then on Tuesday we have snow. And I'm not kidding. I posted about it on my Facebook channel, and I think I was going to do it on Instagram, but anyway, it's always an adventure living in Colorado. Tell me how the weather is there, where you guys are. Are you guys all having heat waves? Are you having rain? Are you having drought? I think a lot of people are having drought. We still are. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, my selection of new arrivals. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these. Yeah, I need to go, oh God. Yeah, I need to stop now. Woo! Need to go take care of these. Anyway, I think I will wrap this up for now. I want to make more videos, guys, because I have more stuff for you. I wanted to do a book review or two on, I finished a fabulous novel on the Vietnam War. I know Lawrence Westwood, you're waiting for it. Quiet Cadence. Amazing, amazing book. Anyway, guys, take care. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for your likes. Subscribe if you would like, and I thank you for being a part of this this adventure. And I'm happy to be here. Okay, guys, I'll stop talking now. Anyway, love ya.